Schedule a Zoom with me at gcexperts.com/Zoom.
Can hear you just fine.
Hey, fantastic. We finally connected.
Good to see you.
How
How
are
can I
you?
help you?
Good. Hey, good to see you too. Thank you. I apologize. We've had two meetings set up, and I am in Mountain Time, and you're Central. So I didn't connect the dots. When I'd get your times, I was an hour late. So,
Well, let me
uh,
tell you a secret. I generally speaking keep this open all day long, and you just click the link at any time, and I just get a little beep. And literally, this is the amount of work effort it takes. This is my computer. This is my Zoom.
dang
So,
it. Yeah, if I'd have known that, I'd reserved time and everything for you. So I feel bad. Well, thanks for taking my call today. So, the Zoom time. I just have a few questions. Really, I've watched several of your videos. I'm really excited. I just had a couple questions for you, um, and some of them were answered in the videos, that you had previously done. But basically, I'm all in. I just want to know where I can sign up, some of the costs. I know that you mentioned that your wife can even get a SAM certified quite quickly, filling out the paperwork. So I just want to pay for that. And then I had a couple questions like on your course. So I know you and your father have recorded it and it's now on video. How long does it last? Can I go back, review, take notes, that kind of thing? How long does the video last?
yeah,
The course.
it's about 10 hours the first day. I give you about 3 hours to watch it, and then it disappears into the ether.
Okay. So it's take notes as I go.
I'm joking, man. Come on.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I think it's proprietary information. So,
It is proprietary, but for heaven's
yeah,
sake, when you invest with us, you get as much access to that stuff as you need. You can watch it over and over
perfect.
and over again. In fact, one
Okay.
guy, uh, uh, oh gosh, now I forget his name, but about a year ago, we were talking on a Zoom like this, and he actually punched the buttons in and bought the workshop while we were on the Zoom. And I was like, wow, thank you. And so then 28 hours later, he calls me like 4 o'clock in the afternoon the next day.
Yeah.
And he goes, oh my God, that was the greatest thing I've ever seen. I'm going to bed now. Click. And he hung up on me. And I realized in that moment, he had stayed up all night long binge watching that thing, which
Sure.
never occurred to me that anybody would ever do. But on the other hand, most people tell me it takes about a week to get through it, something like that.
Okay.
But yeah, you can
Right.
pause it, come back to it, watch it again. Man, you're asking the easy questions. Give me a hard one.
Yeah. I really don't know if I have hard questions. Like I said, some of the harder questions I believe will be answered in your training. So, watching your last video, answered a lot of the questions. I've got a lot of learning to do, but I think that you're going to cover all that. So I'm really just looking forward to the course, dedicating myself, and then in going all in. So I'm a commercial roofer. Um, I do restorations, metal roofs, TPO, membrane,
Hmm.
you name it. I do all granular, built up, bitumen, you name it. I do it. So I'm just struggling because everybody keeps underbidding. So that's what we're in right now. We're in this underbidding war. We're getting 4 and 5 roofers that just keep undercutting. So it's getting difficult, uh, even in the commercial world. So I'm looking to expand into the government contracts.
Yeah.
So the my expertise is in roofing, but from what I was gathering, you actually, if and maybe I'm overstepping my understanding, but are you basically a middleman
Yes.
through multiple
I mean,
contracts,
look.
different?
You're gonna find this funny, and actually, 30 years later, I find it funny. I'm 21 years old. My dad says, "Hey, go get a quote on this roof roofing job."
Sure.
So I call the local roofer, and I'm explaining the job, and he says to me, "Hey, how many square is that?" I'm like, "What the fuck? I ain't ever heard the
100 square
word
feet.
square."
What's a
I,
square, right?
yeah, I never heard that as a unit of measurement, right?
Yeah,
you
roofers
know,
use that. Yeah.
yeah, and but it was then that I realized that all the trades have their own vocabulary. When you call a plumber, he wants to know if it's Schedule 40 or Schedule 80. Is it black pipe, copper pipe? You call a concrete guy. He wants to know if it's 4,000 psi, 5,000 psi mix. He wants to know if there's a slump test, or how many cubic yards of concrete is it going to be. And so really, the answer to your question is, yeah, we teach you how to go after all the construction everywhere. And then, it's on you to learn the lingo so you can talk intelligently with people in the different trades. But sure, you're going to have a step up on roofing jobs just because you're familiar with it. If you call some guy to do a roof in Vermont, you're going to know if he's bullshitting you or not because you have a particular expertise in that area.
Gotcha. Okay. So we can do really all facets of the construction world.
Dude,
So
you can sell cake mix to the federal government if you want to sell cake mix to the federal government.
Gotcha. Okay. No, that's exciting. So that opens up a whole different avenue than my focus, obviously, with roofing. So that's exciting.
Yeah, it's super exciting. I don't know why I'm not the most popular guy on the internet. Really.
Right? It's job opportunity. I mean, it's life changing.
Yeah.
So So I picked up on that, and like I said, I'm excited. The couple questions I had, where I sign up and pay, is that just online on your website?
Yeah, I'll send you a link, and then you just bing, bang, boom, and it's all automated. And then you'll
Perfect.
also get my personal cell phone number, so you don't have to schedule any of these ding-dong meetings.
Okay. Well, I appreciate this meeting. So, also, do I need to get another business license? In other words, if my company name is Seamless Commercial Roofing, do I
Man,
want to sound more generic? You don't have a separate business license?
I want to play a fun game. It's fun for me, maybe not as fun for you. But I'm going to
Sure.
tell you the answer to the question before I start asking you questions. So here's the answer.
Okay.
The answer is SAM registration. Ready to play the game?
Gotcha.
Okay, there's one thing and one thing only required to be a federal contractor, and that is
SAM registration.
If you sell cake mix to the Navy so they can make cakes on ships, what do you need?
SAM registration.
If you sell bullets or aircraft parts or construction goods and services, what do you need?
SAM registration.
Okay, so now that you know that, let's talk about 3 different ways a specification inside a federal contract could be written. So I'm going to give you scenario number 1. You know what a transformer is?
No. I mean,
Okay.
I assume I see transformers on telephone poles or
Well, then
electrical
you
poles.
you know more about transformers than I do. Okay.
Okay.
So that
I mean,
it's
I assume that.
that's exactly what a transformer is.
Okay.
The government replaces a lot of transformers, so I like to use it as my 3 scenarios.
An example.
Yep.
Okay,
What
perfect.
state are you in?
Utah.
Okay. Scenario number 1. The transformer shall be replaced by a licensed electrician in the state of Utah. Now, that had nothing to do with the company that got the job. All the company that got the job, all they needed was a...
Licensed electrician.
No. The company that got the job, all they needed was a...
SAM registration.
SAM registration. But the guy replacing the... To install it, in scenario number 1, they need to be a licensed electrician. The sub needs to be a licensed electrician. Okay?
Makes sense. Okay.
Scenario number 2. The transformer shall be replaced by a licensed electrician. Now, any licensed electrician from any state can go into Utah and replace that transformer. Understand that this is federal eminent domain property. There's no such thing as a state inspector walking into a federal job and going, hey, everybody got a license here in the state of Utah?
Right.
Because it doesn't matter. Again, it has nothing to do with the company that got the job. Okay? Scenario number 3. The transformer shall be replaced. Now, that means literally that you and I can go out there on a Saturday and replace the transformer. Again, nothing to do with the company that got the job. So now, listen to this statement very carefully. My name is Sean Reitmeyer. I have never had a license of any kind, including a business license, other than a driver's license. I've had a driver's license since I was 15. Okay? I've done millions and millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars worth of federal contracts in almost every state. I've never had a license of any kind. I've had a SAM registration.
Hmm.
Now, it has nothing to do with your company name.
Okay.
Zero. Do you think it would be fair to the taxpayers if the procurement officials were making decisions based on the name of the company?
I guess not. No.
How would you feel about that if they picked ABC
Yeah.
Earwax instead of ABC Contracting?
Yeah, they're being biased, I guess, if that was the case.
That's right. And there's no bias in federal contracting.
Okay. So there's no advantage to having XYZ construction versus commercial roofing because
I
it's
see
SAM
all the time.
registration.
I actually have the actual document, and if you force me to cough it up, I will, or you can just believe me.
I
But
believe you.
one of my clients named Quality Fence bid a roofing job in Oklahoma. Now he's in
Okay.
Massachusetts. He didn't get the job, but they sent him a notice of who did get the job. The guy who got the job was AAA Fire and Safety. Now tell me if names of companies matters.
Yeah. So that answers my question. It doesn't. Now, okay, perfect. Thank you. SAM registration. And then your wife can also get us SAM registered, so she can
Yep.
do that quickly, and she's experienced all
Takes
that. That's
about 10
awesome.
days. Yep.
Yeah, that's great. Um, then I noticed in one of your videos, you have, in addition to after we get all set up and get fired up, you've created an amazing tracking system, and it's kind of basically a service to where we can keep track of all of our estimates and help organize it for us.
I invented
What do you
it. It's called BidTrakker.
BidTrakker? Thank you. And what is the cost of that?
$600 a month. Well, my cost is $25,000 a month, but I only charge the guys $600 a
I appreciate that savings for us.
month.
And then I didn't understand exactly what that does. Kind of give me just a little brief scenario on that because it sounds critical to me if we're going to be bidding on multiple bids.
It is. So, look, you're talking to a guy who has bid probably 20,000 jobs over my career. Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
And doing all that, in fact, I'll kind of give you I don't know, a nickel's worth of history here. So, when I was in high school in math class, I'll never forget the teacher telling me, because I never thought of this before, who would think of it? But the teacher said you can't divide by zero. And okay, you can't divide by zero. But she said that you could divide by numbers that approach zero. And that was an interesting concept to me because I'd never heard that. Numbers that approach zero. It's kind of like hearing some guy say, "How many square is it?" I never heard that shit before. And so that happened, and then I, go through life and become a federal contractor, and I start bidding jobs, and I'm realizing that I need two key pieces of information. I need to know when's it due, because if it was due yesterday, I'm not interested. And the second thing I need to know is what do they want? And if and then you got to go through the process and bid it. And then all of a sudden, holy smokes, I don't win every job that I bid. What? Okay. So then I'm realizing that there's a cost of procuring a federal contract. Now, I can never get that cost to be zero, but I can get it to approach zero, and that includes my time. Okay? And that's when the spark happened that I created BidTrakker in its current format. which is that sync you see in the videos.
Yeah. Hmm.
In seconds, I can go in there and click sync, and it gives me two pieces of information really fast. I mean, within seconds. When's it due?
When does it due?
And
And
what
what do
do
they
they
want?
want? Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Nobody, and look, I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed. I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but I put something together because in my opinion, it needed to be done. And it took somebody that understood technology and understood the government processes and ecosystem really well. But the third element of it is people. Because, the old adage is that people make mistakes. Well, it turns out that the damn computers make mistakes too. And
Mm.
when people start to try to automate things, the mistakes, in my opinion, they get out of hand. And what I've discovered over my years as a federal contractor is that the government makes mistakes and categorizes jobs in the wrong category. As an example, let's just say you've got a aircraft supplies, and they keep the supplies in a warehouse, and then they come in on Monday morning after year 5 and there's a leak in the roof, and they go, hey Marge, we need a new roof. Okay, and then but Marge, she puts solicitations out in aircraft parts every day in that category, but then she puts this roofing job out in the aircraft parts category. Well, no contractor is going to go look in the
Yeah.
aircraft, right? And so
Right.
I've discovered 38 different categories where common mistakes like this are made, and I have real people put real eyes on every single one of these things and pull the miscategorized jobs and manually put them in BidTrakker. Because
Wouldn't
here's
that?
say again.
Oh, I was gonna say, wouldn't that, I guess, reduce if let's say it got miscategorized, wouldn't that reduce the bidding on that because so half the people don't see it?
That's half, 98%.
90.
percent
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
okay. I mean,
Because
it's
they're not
some
looking at the
massive
category.
percent, right? Because
Right, right.
there's no reason to go look in there for a construction job. And,
I
and
can see
so
that. Yeah.
and so that's why BidTrakker costs $25,000 a month, because I got two full-time guys. And the other element of it is that I know, because I've been in business for 30 years, that if shit only
Sure.
works half the time, I throw things away that don't work. And I don't ever want a contractor in my group to be using a tool that I created and look at it and go, "Holy shit, there's mistakes in this thing. It doesn't work." Okay?
Yeah.
And so I assure I'll just tell you this. I've been told probably 25 times over the last decade that there was a mistake in BidTrakker. Six of 6 times I was able to show that yes, there was a mistake. The other times I was able to show that it was them, not me. Uh,
User error. Yeah.
yeah, so it's incredibly accurate. It's incredibly
That's awesome.
robust. It's an enterprise level software system. I created it, and I have no idea why somebody smarter than me hasn't created something even better. But in my mind, there's nothing that could be better because it just works.
Yeah, and that's all you want.
Yeah,
Simple sometimes is better.
yeah.
So perfect. Thank you. Um, I'm trying to summarize my understanding because this is new to me. But from what I picked up on what you said, being SAM certified, again, my term is the middleman. You get a job even out of state. So state rules don't apply. We're talking federal. So if that's the case, if I had a team of plumbers, electricians, roofers, framers, whatever, that want to travel, I could have them travel to a different state. They don't need to be licensed in that state.
Happens all the time. But you do have to read the requirement, because it might say licensed plumber, but it might say licensed plumber in the state of Utah. You have to read the
Okay.
specifications.
Okay. Just
But
curious.
on the
And if
other hand, there are systems that we teach for reaching out to local like, in other words, if you want to do local business with the resources you already have, we can teach you how to do
yeah,
that too. I don't think that's where the real money's at, but there's nothing wrong with doing that.
and that was my next I don't necessarily want to take low hanging fruit if it's not profitable. my thought process is if I'm putting time and energy, I actually want to go for where the money's at. So you guys teach that as well, how to decipher and kind of learn to put my
Big,
energy towards something that's going to pay back. I guess that's what I'm looking for.
big time.
Yeah.
Are you on my school? I can't remember.
I just signed up
Okay,
and
so I just posted a video today of the most successful clients I've ever had. I have never shown this video to anybody, and they've been in my program now for seems like 8 or 10 years. And
okay.
I've never shared that video with anybody. And I prefaced the video pretty strongly that this is not results typical. But
Right.
those guys, within 90 days of going through the workshop, they had
Hmm.
already completed 10 jobs and put $250,000 profit in the bank.
Yeah.
Now, don't listen to those numbers and think Sean's trying to sell you, because those
I
guys
get it.
are some really savvy business guys. I mean, really
Yeah.
savvy. But anything's possible.
And I'm not. I'm that guy that I have to read things twice. I have to hear it, write it down. But I am tenacious in the fact that I'll hang in there and I'll work hard. So
Good. Well,
it's done well for me so far, but I'd
that
rather work
and pick
smarter
up
than
if you
harder.
get stuck on anything, pick up the phone and call me.
Perfect. That's great. It's awesome. Cool. What else should I be thinking about that would help me launch and get started? It's not covered in the training. I mean, if the training covers it all, I just need to get started in training.
There's 30 years of shit in my head. I'm trying to pick anything out of there that I could throw at you.
I'm
I'll just tell you this. At this point in my life and career, people only call me for two reasons. They either have questions about federal contracts or problems on federal contracts.
yeah.
You've got my attention for as long as you really want my attention. And if you've got any questions or you just want to sit there and look at my stupid face for the next 5 minutes while you come up with a question, uh, you're more than welcome to do that because literally I'm just sitting here having a glass of water and playing on the internet.
That's awesome. 54 years old. Um, little quick background. I didn't make any money. I've got 2 college degrees. I worked for the man and then finally started to break off and do an entrepreneurship. I opened up a European auto repair shop, worked for it for 10 years, didn't make any money. About 5 years ago, I discovered commercial roofing, started a commercial roofing, and it's done exponentially well for me, comparably to what I've done over my career. So where I'm at stage in life is I don't feel like I've got a whole lot of time left. So I'm trying to make the best of it, be smarter than working harder. So that's kind of where I'm at. So I stumbled across your ad, and it really sparked my attention. So I'm excited to learn about it and to
Just out
get
of
into government contract.
curiosity, what about that ad sparked your attention? Because I get a lot of flack about that thing because it's not polished. There's no edits or anything like that. It's not flashy. What?
Yeah, yeah, it's not. I'll be honest with you. I think it's my age. Like I said, I'm 54. I connected with you because you're just being straightforward. Um, I like to slow down. The flashy and the sparkles don't catch my attention all the time. I think they're trying to push something on me. I felt like your ad was real, honestly, and it drew my attention. So, did I do a lot of watching and research before I reached out to you? Yeah, and try to find out if it's real, because there's a lot of garbage out there. There's a lot of fake stuff, BS. So I liked it because it felt real. Yeah, yeah. So I
Oh,
wouldn't
cool.
change it.
Thanks for the
Doesn't
feedback.
have to be fancy. Yeah, I think you want to attract people that are like, you and that are thinking alike. If you're flashy and you want someone that's going to make a quick buck, a young kid, I don't know if that's what you're after. You want somebody that's real and wants to do business.
Well, cool.
Yeah.
Anything else for me?
No, man, as long as I get your link to how to sign up and it's got your link to hook up with your wife to get her to get me Sam registered, and then I can get your BidTrakker, I'm all set.
Oh, that's the easy part. I'll send that right over.
Perfect. I'll get signed up. I'm ready to go.
Okay. All right. Have a good
Awesome.
rest of your day.
Well, I really appreciate you. Thank you.
Yeah, you bet. Take care. Bye bye.
See you, Sean.